She built one of the most recognizable brands on YouTube without a record label, a PR team, or a manager. Just a sidewalk, a violin, and a family who believed in her. By the time she was a teenager, her videos had racked up nearly 2 billion views. She'd stood on the Ellen DeGeneres stage, and the classical music world was starting to take serious notice. Then in July 2025, she made an announcement that stopped her 8 million subscribers cold. She was leaving the name they all knew behind and stepping into something completely different. But to understand why that decision hit so hard, you have to go back to where it all started. In the summer of 2017, a 9-year-old girl set up on the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, California, and started playing the violin. No stage, no sound system, just her, the instrument, and whoever happened to walk past. The first attempt wasn't even at that location. Her very first public busk was at Venice Beach, and it didn't go smoothly. A nearby sand sculptor got frustrated that she was drawing his crowd away and made his feelings known. Her mother, Ella, wanted to pull the plug on the whole idea right there. Her father, Nikolai, convinced her to give it one more shot. That second performance at Santa Monica lasted 45 minutes. She walked away with $80 she'd been saving up for a puppy. What happened next moved faster than anyone in the Protsenko family could have predicted. People in the crowd started filming. Those clips landed on YouTube and Facebook. Then more people came to the promenade specifically to watch her. The crowds got bigger, the videos spread further. Within 2 years, she had 5 million followers across more than 50 countries, and the name Karolina Protsenko was being searched by people who had never set foot in California. And what happened next would change the scale of everything. Her parents had started uploading videos just to document the journey. It was never supposed to become a business, but once the algorithm caught hold of her content, it didn't let go. The combination was almost impossible to ignore. A technically gifted child, dancing and playing at the same time, covering songs people already loved, in a setting that felt completely unfiltered. No studio polish, no choreography, just talent on a pavement. The main channel, Karolina Protsenko Violin, climbed past 8 million subscribers. Across all her channels, she accumulated over 20 million followers worldwide and nearly 2 billion total views. Her parents built out additional channels for vlogs, singing content, and family videos. They managed every aspect of her online presence while she balanced school, private lessons at the prestigious Colburn School in Los Angeles, and daily practice sessions of 2 to 4 hours. For a cover artist, the monetization is a complicated story. She even addressed it publicly, pointing out that many of her most watched videos earned little to nothing because the original song rights holders claimed most of the revenue. The view counts were staggering. The bank balance from YouTube alone was a fraction of what people assumed. But the brand she was building had a value far beyond ad revenue. And soon, the television world came calling. On May 30, 2019, Karolina walked onto the Ellen DeGeneres show at 10 years old and performed Post Malone's Sunflower. The studio audience went wild. Ellen interviewed her afterward, asked her what she was saving her busking money for. The puppy answer melted the room. Before the segment ended, Ellen handed her a custom blue violin branded with the show's name, filled up her busking tip jar with cash, and sent her on her way. It was the kind of moment that cements a career. 3 years later came another one. On March 4, 2022, Karolina appeared on The Kelly Clarkson Show. What she didn't know going in was that Kelly had arranged a surprise. Lindsey Sterling, the violinist Karolina had cited as her biggest inspiration her entire career, walked out on stage. The two of them performed Guardian together as a duet, and Karolina was presented with a signature Sterling violin on air. For a girl who had grown up watching Sterling's videos and dreaming of that kind of career, it was the kind of moment that doesn't feel real until it's already over. She had also tried out for America's Got Talent at some point along the way, and didn't make it through. It's one of the quietly ironic footnotes of her story, given that she went on to build an audience that most AGT contestants would trade everything for. But not everything in those years was televised highlight reels. Something darker was building behind the scenes. In July 2020, a scammer based in Russia launched a targeted attack on Karolina's main YouTube channel. The method was precise and brutal. The scammer filed false copyright claims using forged certificates from the RAO, the Russian Authors Society, claiming her mother Ella had appeared in videos without consenting to publication. YouTube's automated systems responded exactly as designed. 2 videos were deleted. 2 strikes were logged against the channel. 1 more strike, and everything, all the years of content, all 8 million subscribers, would be gone permanently with no ability to rebuild. The family went public immediately. Karolina posted directly to her followers explaining what was happening and calling it exactly what it was, a blackmail operation designed to extort money from a family people assumed must be wealthy. She was clear that they refused to pay. The response from the fan community was enormous. Supporters flooded YouTube and social media with information to help resolve the dispute. The channel was eventually restored, but for a period of weeks, the entire empire she had built was a single copyright strike away from disappearing entirely. It was a reminder that the digital world she'd built her life on could be dismantled by strangers with forged paperwork. But what came next showed exactly who Karolina Protsenko was beyond the viral clips. While the YouTube algorithm version of her story focused on crowd-stopping covers and energetic performances, a parallel version was developing at the Colburn School, one of the most respected conservatories on the West Coast. Her teacher there, Sam Fisher, had been developing her technical classical training alongside the street, performing and online work. The combination was unusual. Most classically trained violinists don't also moonlight as viral YouTube sensations. Most viral YouTube sensations aren't preparing Mendelssohn concertos in their spare time. In November 2023, she made her orchestral debut with Orchestra Nova LA, performing Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto in E minor. A review from the Culver City Crossroads called her the undisputed showstopper of the evening. She was 15 years old and a high school freshman. 2 months later, in January 2024, she performed the same concerto to open a masterclass at Colburn for the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra, followed by an interview with celebrated violinist Jennifer Cole. The classical world had by this point fully acknowledged that whatever Karolina Protsenko was, she wasn't just a YouTube act, she was the real thing. And that made what she announced next even more unexpected. In July 2025, Karolina posted an announcement that reframed everything. She was adopting a new stage name, Karolina Rose, and the focus of her original music output was shifting to contemporary pop. Not violin covers, not classical performance, original songs, with her voice front and center, built around the kind of cinematic pop she'd been drawn to as a songwriter. The debut single under the new name Advice dropped on August 15, 2025. A second single, Good Girl, followed. Her official website was updated to describe her as a multi-instrumentalist and recording artist in a new artistic era, one focused on original music, artistic integrity, and long-term global impact. The reaction from her audience was complicated. For millions of fans, the violin was the whole point. They had followed her from a sidewalk in Santa Monica through a decade of covers, collaborations, and classical stages because of what she did with that instrument. The idea of trading that identity for a pop rebrand felt, to some, like a loss of something irreplaceable. Comment sections split. Some fans embraced the evolution, others were vocal about not following her into the new chapter. She wasn't the first creator to outgrow the identity that made them famous, but very few do it at 17, with 8 million people watching after building something as specific and beloved as what Karolina had built. The pressure to stay exactly as she was must have been immense. She stepped away anyway. Here is what cannot be argued. Karolina Protsenko started her career on a pavement at 9 years old, earning $80, saving up for a puppy. She survived a coordinated cyber attack designed to erase everything she'd built. She performed Mendelssohn with a professional orchestra at 15. She met her idol on live television. And at 17, when the easiest and most financially secure path was to keep uploading the violin covers her audience already loved, she chose to start over. Whether Karolina Rose connects with the same 8 million people who found Karolina Protsenko on that Santa Monica sidewalk, that part is still being written. But the decision itself tells you something about who she is. She didn't let the audience define the ceiling. She decided what came next herself. That's either the most courageous thing a young artist can do, or the most complicated. Maybe it's both.